interview about community-based participatory research, yes, using Lightmap. That is a software tool for computer-supported argumentative visualization. In terms of community-based participatory research, we have this approach that is very, very used for RRI, because it's exactly to bring the community to identify a problem, like research questions, together. And they, with researchers and also facilitators, they will be acting in all phases of research. That is RRI approach. Yes. And then we have the community organizations interacting as well. So in terms of research again and skills, what's interesting is that this possibility for building community capacity. And it's the control. However, this process, it's not easy, yes, because we have the community interacting all the time. And then they needed to be also, how can I say, equipped to use the tools, to use the space for discussion and the procedures for investigation, or make sense about the outcomes of the investigation. And the data is transparent. So it's very different from the traditional research approach, that Cbpr, we call Cbpr. So for the Cbpr, we think that the Cbpr could be facilitated by a software. And that software, Lightmap, we have been using with different groups, even teenagers, in the Engage project. And here in this second screen, you can see that we are using a process for Cbpr that is started with the problematization, is when everybody help talk to each other to identify a global issue, problems, common problems, yes, based on the community and the participant interest. And then we have this second moment, that's deliberation, when we definitely, we started this discussion, yes, analyzing the different opinions, and they try to draw conclusions based on evidence. And then the third step is a consultation, is when you are providing feedback about the Cbpr findings. This is exactly happened when I shared with you this report that I'm going to put here for you to see here. I don't know if you can see my screen.
I
That
can
was,
see.
yeah, that was the research report. So then we had this consultation. I asked everybody to share comments, and your name is in this report. Have you ever seen this report or not? I mean, did you have time
I
to
haven't
see?
seen the report.
Oh, because you
You,
are part of this report, yes, and your name is there, and your coach is there. I'm going to. This report is in the web page. So
if you can send me the report just now by
yes,
email.
definitely. This is very
And
important, because here in the Engage website
okay,
publication, I'm going to show the report. So we have the publication area. And this is very important, because he was, I am the main author, but I included everybody as co-author
oh, okay,
in terms of, providing content. And I asked everybody if I could use their names, like explicit, because it's their information that is kind of contribution, yes, to this. So when you go here, but I'm just put the URL for you to have an idea. That's publication. Ah, okay. So I'm going to include in the chat, but that is the important moment is the communication. It's not only when we share the project or I mean the outcomes, yes, the
Mhm.
publication, is when we developed lots of discussion about this report. And
Okay,
this,
what does the report include?
so the report, it's all about the, but I'm going to see if I can show with you now. Uh, it's about all the results about the discussion in terms of this is the URL I'm going to share with you here for you to know where to find all the publications. So here I'm going to share this screen now with you. Yes, might be here.
Do you have certain questions for me,
Yeah,
Alex?
yes, I have, because otherwise it should be very too long. So what I'd like to show first, I would like to show 3 screens for you. Otherwise, it's going to be too long. But I'm going to show here for you to have an idea. Can you see the screen?
Very,
It's
it's
small. You are not going to read,
small
yes?
and
It's
out of focus.
yes, it's not focused, but I'm going to share with you soon. So, what am I going to show you? I want to know your opinion about the process of using Lightmap and based on the outcomes of the project. So briefly, I'm going to show the software. I have these screens already ready for you to see that. Yes. So you will be seeing that. And what I'd like to show is that the light map offers this possibility of mapping all the whole database. Yes, the whole database and everything that is in the discussion. So, and we can navigate in all these discussions. We can here in the second slide, just to show the second slide. This is the same area, yes, the questions. And all these questions that you brought were linked, and the other people brought more questions. And then we have different visualizations of these questions. But what is interesting is that when you bring one question, yes, so the group can also bring ideas and they can bring pros and cons. This is exactly what you did to map the debate. And then here in the second, the third screen, we have the software provide lots of analytics information about the event, about your event, your map. So your map was used by more people. We have like more than 10 users, and they provided, so we had all these procedures during the 2-3 years. We have deliberation, consultation, communication, all these phases, yes. Um, and here we have this big important map that when the community brought more questions based on your questions, and then we can see how those questions generated ideas, generated the pros and cons, and also specific information like URLs, more reports. So the people are bringing more information about this initial step. And then
What? Wait. I don't understand. You are talking just about the analysis of this kind of the the meeting, the one meeting in Paris,
yeah,
and
everything started in one meeting in Paris. Yes, everything
okay,
started
and
there.
how do you measure and you try to measure its impact? I don't understand.
Yes, we are trying to measure the impact, and I needed to explain what is the process that you were involved at the beginning, what happened after, before I started my questions. But my question is very simple. Yes, so I needed to explain a little bit what happened, and that is exactly, yes, this process here. Okay, so before Paris, I asked everybody to bring me questions. And then we mapped the 20 questions from participants. In Paris, yes, we started the deliberation. So as you can see here, that the deliberation was exactly the discussion in three groups. Okay.
Okay.
After Paris, when I generated the report through email, I sent the report to everybody, and I asked them to provide me, confirmation, or I used the same email that the people used in the RI seminar. I'm not sure if you didn't receive it, but I emailed everybody, and I emailed 3 times, and also I organized some flash meetings about the report. And then in communication, I used that report to communicate to other groups, like in Brazil, in Portugal, and the people interested in RRI. And then we started the community using the maps, and I provided some training in light map, and we have more users using that map that you created.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
You entered the data and you used the light map. I don't remember.
You use the map, you enter with the data in Paris, do you remember? And a little bit after Paris.
Maybe. Wow, it was so long ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
you used a little bit the map, but it was good that you provided me this feedback. So we have some questions that were you including, because nobody can use your login or URL. So that was exactly what you created 3 years ago. 16 questions, 10 ideas, 2 arguments, and one counter argument.
Yeah, okay.
And because we had Maria and Aristos reporting the meeting, yes, I extended your map after getting their reports, and after that I used the same map in 2 seminars, and the people brought more ideas. But only
Uh,
you can delete your things, yes, or even it's deleted, it's in your area in light map.
mhm.
And that was what happened in consultation. I organized this map. I generated this visualization here. That's the bubbles. I'm going to show a little bit. And in the bubbles, people can put questions, ideas. They can vote or in the map, yes. But what is interesting, I don't know if you can see this bubble. Yes,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one that is highlighted. So in pink is the question. Yes, is CPG and online communities, pre and teachers. Sorry, can CPG and online communities prepare teachers for RRI adoption? That was the question. Okay,
Mm.
and that question with in blue, can you see like blue purple, two
Yeah, yeah.
circles inside? So first I answer is yes, flexible curriculum supported by the government might help teachers. It's essential to embed the RRI issues. That was one idea. The second idea was pedagogical know-how is important for integrating RRI in for teachers for RRI adoption. So that was the 2 ideas. For each idea, yes, people brought some we called supportive arguments. So
Mm.
the first idea, you can see how many circles you can see here when
Four.
I'm 4, yes. So that are here the 4, yes, pedagogical know-how, and the first one is the 3, okay. So when you put the mouse, this is a static image, but in Lightmap, when you put the mouse, you can see which are the questions when you put the mouse on top.
Okay.
Okay, so I needed to explain faster. I captured the screens for you to see the process.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah.
it would be
Okay.
too long if I had to wait the computer to load the maps. Yes. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
That's for you to have an idea. But what is
Yeah.
interesting here, yes, is that when we completed this process, we could see some bubbles without answers. We could see, like here, this one here that I have the browser. We have two questions here without any questions inside of the questions, without any ideas or any evidence, any arguments or counter arguments.
Okay.
So that
What are
happened.
the red dots?
Yes, the red dots is counter argument. It's
Okay.
some kind of challenge, difficulties, barriers.
Okay.
Yes. For instance, if somebody said that the flexible curriculum support by the government is essential, another person on that day could say, well, but governments, they are against the flexible curriculum. They want a very strict curriculum. This would
Okay.
be a counter argument.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, and then after that, what we did, we copied and paste this linear map information that you have in number 3. Yes, this one here. We generated the report using that data. So what is it good like, in terms of when you have a discussion, yes, in your classroom about using argumentation, people they can bring questions, they can bring ideas, supportive arguments, counter arguments, problems, barriers, yes, and then at the end you need to make some conclusions or summary, yes, sum up
Yeah.
everything. So what we are using Lightmap is to first providing the community a tool for everybody to bring in the data. Or if they cannot use Lightmap because they found complicated or they are not users, somebody like you would be mapping, yes, the discussion. And then we provided the maps for people to vote, and they voted. Or if they could not vote it, they just make comments about the visualization. And then at the end, we organized all these maps again, yes, linked with some ideas, and then we provided the report. Okay.
Okay.
And this process we are using not only with the researchers but with the children.
Okay.
When they have inquiry-based learning, yes. So in that the classroom, they are discussing a common problem together or in groups. And then we used the light map for them to discuss like electric cars, energy consumption, the best way to save energy in the school. That was their question. In was like 14 years old students, yes. So they used the light map a little bit, but facilitated, yes, with some facilitators at the beginning. And then at the end, because it's very hard for them to organize the whole, argumentation process and put the pros and cons and justifications, and then developing evidence-based conclusion based on what was discussed. That
So,
provides us kind of structure for them, and with the visualization is just supporting them to see if, well, I can see here in this, I don't know the debate, but you can see number 2 that we have 9 questions, 4 on the right and 5 on the left. Yes.
but who does that? The teacher?
The
He
teacher,
sorts?
the teacher, somebody, for
Uh,
instance, in we didn't have a time to, because you, Mihai and Gabriel, had problems with the connection. You did party on the RI event using Lightmap, and most of your map was created after the event because you had more time, yes, and then you sent me the link. But when you are doing the classroom, I did this with the students and with the science teacher. So the groups they are mapping in 2 hours. You need 2 hours for that. The the classroom generated the questions. We bring the questions to the map, and then they start to discuss ideas in group. Then you need four, if you have like 4 groups, each group has 1 mapper, yes? And we are going to bring the information for the bubble, okay?
Yeah, I get it, but what? Okay, what can I help like regarding?
Okay. First question. I have some questions here. So,
Okay,
here, I'm going to show, now I'm going to start the questions. It's going to be short.
okay.
I'm going to share here that screen now. Can you see this screen?
Yeah, with the bubbles.
No, with the bubbles, no. Now is the screen. Let me see. I'm going to use the other computer.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
going to put some.
whoa! Now I can see. Whoa.
Can you hear me? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, because now I'm using the second computer. Okay?
Okay.
So this was your map. Yes, and here I'm going to show here because now I can. Yes, so this, when I put the mouse here, I know that it's an issue, could be a social scientific issue. And then here, some ideas, okay? And then,
Yeah, I can see.
okay, my first question is, when you were mapping, yes, the debate, how useful do you feel or difficult was using the software and this language, the icons like questions, ideas, pros and cons? How do you feel that is useful or not for mapping the debates?
Okay. I don't now. I quite get remember what that I did some of it. I don't, technically speaking, like I don't remember something too difficult in mapping it. Don't remember something too difficult. I think it was quite easy.
That's good. When you
If I remember correctly, I don't think it was too difficult.
Okay, and when you are observing this map, I'm just going to enter here in the light map. When you are observing this map, like you click here in signing here on top, yes, but probably I even don't know if you have your login. But when you are mapping, you can establish, you can move the icons, you can establish these connections. So, and people can also vote in the map. I'm going to show here another map here that I have. For instance, this here, this visualization shows you here in the center with 34 connections. And after your map, we have Mihai, the 11 connections, your information. And then this other person that was from Brazil that used your map. And me here, I put 31 informations as well. So this is about your network. And when you click here, for instance, I'm going to explore these 3 connections. We have here, let me see one. For instance, these connections with Mihai, yeah? So when you have a select, and then we click explore, let's just see if I can show.
What does the connection? What does the connection mean? Like,
yeah,
he took the map.
So the connection means, for instance, you brought that question about informal learning cost to generate cost. Yes.
Okay.
And then who is going to be doing that? Or the flexible curriculum, for instance. If somebody thinks about the flexible curriculum and then brings some other ideas, they can establish a connection between your questions and the other ideas. That was the purpose. Yes. And then people can also use your questions to bring in new questions or new ideas. And then sometimes if they don't generate the connection, then they cannot, how can I say, the information would be floating in the map. And then when you have this visualization, the linear visualization here, can you see? The visual, yeah. So that that information is not going to be nested, because here is all. This is the main question. This was group B. That is your group. Yes.
Yeah.
Formal, informal learning, and then, for instance, if I click here, I can see that I included that question. Yes, based on the transcription and the report provided by Maria and Aristos. You here, Mihai, I also make a connection with your map. Mihai was mapping building partnerships. Yes, so, and then, for instance, let me see something. That was a person who brought one question: how to motivate teachers and the students for RRI. Yes, so when I open here, I can see people. Look, you are here, can you see? How can you create parents' cooperation in the integration of the RRI aspect? And look, the data, for instance, the data as well, 29th of September. This was exactly 2 days after the RRI seminar, when you were mapping. Yes, and then you can get the full information of this question. But
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I need to finish in 5 minutes.
Okay. What I would like to just to get now. Okay, because you don't remember, it's fine. Because you don't remember too much about this. I would like that you use this 5 minutes, yes, to provide an overview about the potential of the light map and how you see this database RRI, and then I will give you the links that you need for, if you want the report, the maps, okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, about everything that I presented, what is your opinion in terms of the light map for community-based participatory research in RRI?
As I understand it, it depends on what you wish to be the outcomes. Because as I see the light map, it's theoretically grounded. I can't see anything to, in my opinion, yeah, it's only my opinion, but in the first view or second view, let's say, so I don't see anything practical happening with it. I don't see how you take these ideas and sort the arguments and make something practical out of it. I see it as a theoretical, nice theoretical game or exercise, let's say, but I can't see the practical essence. What like say people who are in the Ministry of Education of something like that, different stakeholders who and policymakers, you give them this thing and what would they care? I don't know. I don't get it. It's nice. It's an academic, again, it's an academic, in my opinion, as I see it, it's a nice academia theory exercise, but I don't see again, what practical, how practical I can get with it. Like if I want to really, people bring questions, give ideas, give backings and rebuttals, and how could I get to drive at the end eventually? How do I get eventually to an end point and I say, oh, okay, this is what we should do in order to close the gap between formal and informal practices in schools. You understand?
Oh yes, yes, I like it a lot, your comment. Yes, like because this is exactly what we need to know, and the facilitation is first you emphasized what are the practical benefits for the whole community, not only for the academics. Yes, and the second issue is how the facilitator can engage the community. Yes, to make the most of the tool to help the purpose of the meeting. Yes, how they can guide. Is it your 2 points?
It's when speaking about communities, I think it depends on what do you call the community. You understand? I don't understand who is the community. Researchers from all over Europe, teachers and researchers, different stakeholders, people in the Ministry of Education, universities. It depends. When you say community, I'm a bit of confused, because who is the community? If you are speaking about researchers in the academia, okay, that's fine. This gap is really, I don't know if there's so much gap. People can discuss it. They speak the same language, let's say so. More or so the same language. But if you're speaking about, let's say, universities, Ministry of Education policymakers, industry, schools, parents, this gets much more complicated, and it will take more than a light map and more than an engage project to like, you know, to glue all those things together and get some idea. It's that's what I mean. I don't understand when you say, what do you mean by community? Because the community depends on its size and on its people, on the characteristics of the community. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yes. And I definitely agree on this, because, for instance, we started a kind of a community in the seminar during 6 hours. From that moment, yes, a few people, they were not more engaged because they were committed, like particular people from outside engage. And then people engage the consortium, they carry on with the discussion, yes, and some of them supported using Lightmap for other purpose. But some people used Lightmap only that day, that was you. And that community in Paris, we had also not only academics, but invite the people like the writers. The writers are not academic.
Right.
Yes. Then we have also students that doing PhD, that they, or like you were doing your PhD on that moment. Yes. Although
Yes.
you are teaching as well. So you are teacher and PhD student. So we had a kind of a variety, but more related to the science community. Yes. Like students, PhD students, master,
course.
teachers, writers, researchers, and the science communicators, and in the debates. But only if 80 people were using Lightmap on that day. Yes. And but I agree a lot with your comment. Do you have any final comment that you consider about the this? I think the most important information that I need is about this slide here. But I'm going just to show the final one for you to make a question.
Okay.
Is this one? Can you see that one? So that bubbles. Yes.
I can't see.
Yes. So that bubbles.
I cannot see. Sorry,
You
Alan.
cannot, sorry. Então, peraí, let me see here why you cannot see. Peraí, just a minute.
I
You
think
need
it's
to go.
the computer.
Oh.
I see it in a small square. I see it in a small square, but I can't see the whole.
Okay.
What I see in big, the light map, engage project, RI, big ideas. How can we? I see the questions that you showed me before, but the bubbles I see.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. I'm going to put the bubbles. Sorry. Yeah. But I just a minute. As I say, I have the bubbles. Okay, I'm going to change the computer. That's better then, because I don't want to lose time waiting for the.
Okay.
For the,
I need
Yeah, but anyway, is this one here? Can you see this one now? Or
no.
No, peraí, então let's just a minute.
Hello, can you see this one?
Oh, yes. Now I can see it.
Okay, so peraí. That one, yes, is about the when the community are bringing questions, and the questions, like you can see lots of bubbles, pink in the middle. Yes, participants bringing your questions about flexible curriculum, the RRI embedded in the classroom, how to do it, formal informal learning, how to engage the science museums. But that questions, they are all about different topics. And then we need to make connection using grouping the questions. Okay? And if to see these questions grouped, linked, and nested, that was the visualization that we offered for the analysts to help us to group the questions. We call it the problematization, when we have global themes and we group the questions for the debate.
Mm-hmm.
And my final comment is because you are using inquiry-based learning, yes, in your work. Yes,
yeah.
I remember because I showed you WeSpot, another platform that we developed. So when you have groups developing inquiry together, yes, what are the challenge that you see for defining a problem, a common problem? Yes, for them, because if we give the inquiry questions for the children or teenagers or students in higher education as well, they will not be kind of ownership of the questions. But when we create the situation for a debate and everybody bringing questions, you connecting questions, and you show these questions grouped using a tool, what is for you the benefits and the challenge of the process of problematization?
In class or
in the research, can be with your students based on your practice. I don't know. You are teaching. You are teaching teenagers, or are you teaching the university as well?
Both.
Then think about both. Higher education and the students, when they are bringing questions, when they are how the software, for instance, if you, of course, that you don't remember very well, okay, but if you can see people bringing questions and you connecting those questions, and then you sharing with them what are how do you make how do you group the questions? I mean, what's the benefits of identify common problems for the group to investigate together? Have you ever used the collaborative inquiry based learning?
Yeah, but what I do generally, I divide them to groups. Each group gets it's like a jigsaw, you know, each group gets to discuss its own topic, whether I give them or they choose. Each group at the end presents its outcomes, whether it's inquiry or an experiment or a social scientific dilemma. And then there is a discussion in class, and we try to figure out how we integrate conclusions of each group to a more coherent picture. That's let's say if I'm taking in chemistry different industrial challenges, okay?
Yeah.
For example, if I give for one group CO2 capturing, for another group, let's say use of different kinds of fossil fuels or oil shells. For another group, let's say I'm about natural gas sources, methane sources. So each one discusses the issue, and they're all environmental chemistry issues that are all can be reduced to certain, let's say, policy making and general general topics on how industry, chemical industry, and other scientific-based industries should act, or the best way for them to act. Of course, the best way to the opinion of the students, but this is something that I think when you say problematization, if you are, let's say, if I'm talking scientifically, if I'm taking problematization, if I would take not industrial chemistry dilemmas, let's say dilemmas that are regarding to the chemical industry, but I would take, let's say, cloning, and then I'll take CO2, and then I'll take, let's say, the Ben Coke dilemma, and I don't know, the free parents dilemma.
Yeah.
Like grouping all of them together won't be smart. If I give all of those dilemmas in one class and I divide them to groups, and then we want to it would to be generalized, or like to get any big idea, it would be very hard, and it would be presumptuous to do this. I don't think it wouldn't be a smart thing to do.
Okay. That is a good example, because sorry. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. So if you want a good problematization, activity, you need a design. Otherwise, it will be pretentious. It's like you are like forcing it.
Yes.
And if it's pretentious and you are forcing it, it won't make any sense, and everyone will get disappointed. You need to design something. You need to think about where do you want to get, where do you want to go, and how do you think, and how do you want things to assemble, to congregate, how all this pile of data finally assembles and accumulates to something you can make sense of. Because however like thrilling and super interesting cloning and the free parents problem is, and the Bangkok is, and the fracking and chocolate, and I can take many of engage activities which are truly great. If I like, let's say, if we are talking about problematization, if I would, squeeze all of them to one class, divide each group to discuss one engage activity and try to assemble it, it will be a mess. It won't be a problematization. It will create another problems.
Yeah. Can I have a short comment? Yeah, short comment, because I managed to put this visualization. Can you see it?
The big one. Wait a second. I'll try. Yes.
Yeah. So that is the interactive visualization. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So suppose think that this is Bancola. Okay, we had the ideas in the seminar, and then we have 3 different groups. So one that was your group was exactly this one: how to bridge formal and informal learning for RRI.
Yeah.
And then we had some questions, yes, from Tony and Matteo. But the experts, they also brought different questions, like Jacqueline Brouwer. How could we foster further development on RRI based on advocacy, yes, and the facilitators and barriers? So we have like different questions. And this one about, there was some questions about, that was like educational sector, RRI, and then sub-questions, for instance here, the best practice, informal education, and then what is engaged about, the methodology, so we were how to promote discussion. This was kind of people's connections related to that big one. So what we were trying to organize is a way that in the questions, we have sub-questions. For instance, if somebody would like to know about obesity and Bancola, all the questions about obesity will be grouped. And the other group would like to know more about the effects, or if it can be addicted, children can be addicted or not.
Okay.
So then we have, like in Transform, the children generating questions. And these questions grouped in their peers, because then with the peers, they can do a project together.
All right, okay.
So the idea of the problematization at the beginning, when they bring questions, they group that questions, and they select the most relevant questions that everybody has interest, or a set of questions. For instance, obesity, sugar, and if the obesity can make a relation with diabetes.
Yeah, but you know what is the problem with this? The problem is that the teacher is the only one to sort the map. So he sorts the map alone. So the map is subjective. You understand?
Yes.
This is quite of a
But it
problem
has of the
because
voice. It has the
you
voice of the
design
children.
something that in a way you wanted to support to to record what happened in reality, right? But if if it's only the teacher who sorts the students' questions, then it's mapping only the teacher's point of view. It's fine, yeah. But it won't give like it's not the real thing that happened. It's not like you recorded something, right, on the tape and that's it. And I think again, I think it's a good tool. When you present it to me like this is much more clear. It makes sense. But again, it's important to keep in mind that the one who arranges the map arranges it according to his own ideas about how he thinks things should be sorted out. Because maybe if you take another one, let's say if you took the Bangkok, he would say, I would look at addictive and obesity together. Let's say he would put them in the same circle. I don't know, but so if it kind of it's a subjective tool. It doesn't give you the real picture. But again, we are in social sciences, and the real pictures are are not to be attained. But in
Yes.
general,
Thank you very much, Emil, because this is exactly what we'd like to add in our research, is these critical comments. For instance, the only way to make it very participative in the whole process is if the community or the participants, the group, they were aware, and in the face-to-face meeting would be the moment that I would be using all the light maps, graphs, to show the community, to get the opinion feedback, and to make decisions either using votes or another procedure. Yes, but it's very hard to get common decisions in groups of 10 people. That was engaged in groups around 10 people.
Ale, I am so sorry.
Sorry, you need to go.
I am so sorry. But I need to pick my son, and I need to go. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Very useful.
It's great talking to you and listening to you. And if you got the time, please send me the links and the report so I can at least remember what I've done, and perhaps I would use myself the light map.
Okay, thank you. I will do it. I will do it tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. No problem. Have a good day.
Okay.
Thank you very
much. Very much. Thank you, Emil.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Good afternoon. Bye.